This is my review of the PMM Mods P-CBR 8K. It's basically the Zaunkoenig M2K but in a custom 3D printed shell. I'm also using some Ruby Sapphires from SapphireSkates. They're a bit like glass skates, but they don't have the slowdown, and they always seem to be consistent. I'm liking them a lot and I plan to review them soon. They also look pretty cool. If you do plan on picking up the mod kit from Piranha mouse mods, it does not include skates, so make sure you pick up some from somewhere. You also need to make sure they fit the slim profile of the shell. As you see here, I'm using some Sapphires from SapphireSkates. And then you may be able to use the Zaunkoenig skates as they're also the same profile. Maybe some dots too. Piranha says the mouse buttons are designed to be as low as possible. It's also shaped a bit like the G303 and inspired by the Tesla Cybertruck. It gets a bit smaller as it reaches the front and larger as it reaches the back. I do prefer the shape of the Zaunkoenig M2K as it gets a bit smaller as it reaches the back, which is the opposite for the PMM mod shape. But the PMM Mods P-CBR 8K can be a lot cheaper in terms of price. You can pick up the PMM Mods P-CBR 8K for around €225 plus shipping. It's a fair bit cheaper than the Zaunkoenig M2K, which comes in around €300. You can also pick up the PCBR 8K as a mod kit for around €68 plus shipping, and then you pick up the PCB for around €80 plus free worldwide shipping. Building it yourself might save you some money, just be sure to pick up some skates. While you're ordering the PCB, you would then pick up the Zaunkoenig skates if you want to use those, or when you're ordering the shell from PMM Mods, pick up the SapphireSkates from there. I'm using the Ruby Sapphire Skates from SapphireSkates. I like these a lot. For those watching this video and don't know what a Zaunkoenig M2K is, it's basically the world's lightest mouse at 24 grams and has a carbon fibre shell. The mouse also has driverless 8000Hz, which means it updates on the screen faster, and it also has a very fast click response. It's one of the best mice you can get right now. PCBR 8K is basically the Zaunkoenig M2K, but with a custom shell. It weighs around the same, but the shell is 3D printed, has quite a different shape. I'm using the Enncoo AirCord, which is an ultralight paracord cable. It basically feels like a shoestring and never gets in the way. You have to purchase it from Gilmore Designs as they give it the correct connector to fit on the Zaunkoenig M2K. Here's a tweet by Enncoo which shows the cord by Gilmore on the mouse. If you do go for SapphireSkates, I recommend use a softer pad as Sapphires aren't good for hard pads. I've been liking the XTEN Cloth control pad a lot, so cloth control or something cloth related would be best for using SapphireSkates on. If you do go with the PCBR 8K mod kit, then make sure you follow the guide. It's really straightforward and tells you everything you need. It says you need a T5 screw bit, but I do recommend a T4 as well. If you just work your way down the guide, it should be very easy to follow. One thing that I'm not a fan of is it doesn't mention which way the pins go, and you need to make sure they go in the correct direction. When you're installing the cord, I recommend following my guide that I'll have linked in the description below. Here it'll show you which direction the pins actually go, which I didn't see in the guide, and I recommend making sure they go in the right direction. If you use this and the PMM Mods P-CBR 8K instructions, you should be fine. So if you're looking for an honest opinion on the PMM Mods P-CBR 8K, then it's a really nice mod kit that I put together. The shell is quite solid. They didn't really sacrifice anything, getting it down to the same weight as the carbon fibre on the M2K. There's very minimal flex unless you monster grip the bottom, then there'll be slight flex. But it's surprising they got it down to this weight, so the both mice weigh exactly the same. The one thing I don't like is that the back of the mouse is a bit wide, so when it gets a bit cold it can be a bit hard for me to grip things in some ways, so my thumb and pinky get a bit sore when holding it for long term. Whereas on the M2K it's a bit smaller at the back, which makes it easier for me to grip. Changing the cord on this mouse is easier than the M2K because there's just a bit you can slide the cable in the front. It makes assembly much easier. Whereas if you were to do a cable swap on the M2K, you have to work the cable through the front of the mouse and through a skeleton bit, and it's very tight. And if you're installing something like the Enncoo AirCord, it's very tight on here and you have to make the hole bigger with a screwdriver. Whereas on this it just fits right away without any adjustments. Yeah, honestly, you should pick it up. The PCB availability might be going away soon because the MCU in this, which is like a controller, is also used in military drones and the price has gone up really high. So it's very hard for them to assemble a bunch of PCBs for this. So I recommend picking up as soon as possible, especially if you want a crazy light mouse. The reason I went for the Enncoo AirCord is that it's super light and doesn't need a mouse bungee, whereas the stock cable does need a mouse bungee, at least for me. The Enncoo AirCord's like a string. It's never in the way, doesn't pull the mouse. So Gilmore sent me a new cable because my Enncoo AirCord doesn't work with 8K. It might have got damaged in transit from America to Scotland, so hopefully the new cable works fine. Other than that, I really like this mouse. I also lightly lubed the side of the scroll wheel where it meets the plastic with Krytox GPL 205 G0. Because that's also what Zaunkoenig does. It helps make the scroll wheel less scratchy. So we're not lubing the scroll wheel encoder, we're mainly lubing the plastic which meets the plastic. It just makes it a whole lot smoother. Yeah, honestly, once you've checked out this review, I recommend picking one up if you have the money to. This is a crazy endgame fingertip mouse. Here's the PCBR 8K next to a few mice. The PMM Mods 10% Superlight. I love this a lot and I'm using it with Sapphires. You can also hot swap the switches in this mouse. It is next to the PMM Mods UL2 / Starlight S. It's a mix of a small and medium Starlight. The hump is a bit larger on it due to the battery, I feel. Next to the LuceOut Overlight, which is basically a G Pro X, but 38 grams. They're a really nice mouse as well from LuceOut. Super light. I recommend checking out LuceOut. There'll be a discount code for him below in the description. It is next to the Logitech G305. A lot of people will recognise this mouse. A lot of mods are done through this mouse. The internals for this are currently in my 10% Superlight. Next to Logitech G903. I used this mouse for a couple of years and liked it a lot. It's just a bit on the heavier end. Logitech G502. I used this mouse for a couple of years and it's still going strong. This is a super popular wired mouse. Are you still using a Logitech G502? It is next to the new Razer Basilisk V3 Pro, an ergonomic mouse. A bit heavy for me, but it's an interesting mouse. Next to the Razer Viper Ultimate, another popular mouse. I used this for a couple of months to a year or so, before going to the Zaunkoenig M2K. Here it is next to the GWOS HTS Plus 4K. I reviewed this recently. It's a really solid 4K mouse. I really like the shape of it. There's a code below in the referral link if you want to get a discount. Here it is next to the Ninjutso Katana Superlight Wireless. This is basically a bulkier G Pro with a better scroll wheel and clicks. Here it is next to the Xertify MZ1, a popular low profile small mouse. I found it a bit too low for me. Next to the Crafted-Mice Samira 104 with G Pro X internals. I really like this mouse and it's kind of been my main for a while. Next to Finalmouse Starlight Pro TenZ Medium, a really popular new mouse from Finalmouse. Next to the Finalmouse Starlight 12 Poseidon in small. I quite like the small over the medium. Small fits my hand just right. If you consider subscribing and giving this video a like, it will help me so much. Thanks a lot for watching.
Oh, okay.
Got them.
Maybe there's one person. Oh, he's dead.
They're dead. Oh, right there.
There you go. I picked one from down.
I see them. They're all running over there.
Over where?
I aim right now.
I don't see anyone. Oh, over here.
Got one down. Oh, they're going. They're going. Oh, they're carrying. They're carrying. Oh, there we go.
Hey! Wow. I don't like dropping on spots. Oh, wait.
Are you dead? Oh no, you're not dead. Yeah.
That's what happens when you get the flag. It only happens for a little bit. Down here. Down here. Down here.
Got one down. On me. Is it?
You have a hammer.
They're dead.
Nice.
I watched you do that. Oh, put a tree.
Oh, the zone.
Yeah, there's no one.
Literally right here. On the right.
Oh my
Right.
god! My speed!
Oh, we are not going to make this. I don't have any health at all.
Nice. like 5 through.
Oh,
I was gonna say,
Someone right here.
hill?
I'm so scared.
Someone up on the hill?
Yeah.
Out in pink?
Why did I go out in the open? I got too excited and wanted to get close, apparently.
We died together.
Oh,
I hear footsteps.
someone right there. They're coming.
Like it. Kill Ariana Grande.
I hate Ariana Grande.
I just got here.
I'm behind the barricade. Thank you, Kyle. Oh yeah, I'm going to help while I am currently unavailable.
Here.
There you go.
Best be careful. Thou will smash thou in thy arteries. Don't worry if you get randomly hit off
They're
the edge, you
down.
will not die. Your legs may break, but you won't die.
I think why is it flipping? Why did it?
Nice.
Up here. Here, people.
Cool people?
Ah, that's another one that.
Have a cat.
Oh.
Thou is going to go around and die on.
Let me.
I feel like there's too many things on the screen on Fortnite.
Why did I jump off the
There's
mountain?
not enough things on the screen.
If I'm saying that right. Oh,
Got him.
someone got him.
Let's go.
Oh yeah.